Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pinfalls, your favorite WWE pay-per-view prediction show. I know you have many that you like to watch, but this is your favorite. I, of course, am who else but Tommy Ellis, and joining me, as always, from Skokie, Illinois, is the man on the beat from johngysbeat.com, Mr. John Wroblewski.
You say you want an evolution. When...
Take it easy there, buddy. Take it easy.
I'm here, man. I got the Melanie Cruz because it's an all-women's pay-per-view.
Yeah, yeah,
Cruz, one of
Melanie.
our all-time favorites.
She was first ever Resistance Pro Women's Champion for those who follow Resistance Pro Wrestling here in Chicago.
Briefly in AEW.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent wrestler and great person. Was always very nice to me.
And we'll be
So,
seeing her in a couple weeks.
yeah, yeah. She's going to be going up against one of our good friends, Reagan Lydale, who
Oh, that's going to be a match.
recently fought for the freelance heavyweight championship for the second time. She's been in the main event for the title. Came up short, but if she's gone in after it twice, it's inevitable. So anyway, it's the second ever Women's Evolution, all women's pay-per-view from WWE. Um, I was a very big fan of the first one. But
And was high.
but the first one was in a very fruitful period for women's wrestling, and it deserved its own pay-per-view because you had all of the people who are the top level people now were still kind of like they were just breaking through to that point. They were in the main events, for the women's titles and things like that, but they hadn't quite reached like that superstar status yet. And for some of them, this pay-per-view helped get them there too. But we're talking about Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, um, Alexa Bliss. I mean, just that whole class, and and then mixed in there you had Trish Stratus, and you had Natalia, and they just I think the Bella twins were there for that too. And
Yeah, who could
so
forget?
they brought all sorts of people out for it and everything, but it was a really good event. I actually really liked it, and I was really surprised that it took them this long to do it again.
Yeah,
Now here we are, it's 2025. I think the last one was like 2018 or something like that.
it was a while.
It's been a while, but here it is. Now, the problem I have is that the women's division is just really flooded. I mean, they have so many women's wrestlers that just are all doing the same gimmick, and I can't tell most of them apart. It's like watching NXT. It's just
Yeah.
they're so indiscernible at this point. Uh, so they're kind of, this is their opportunity to kind of cram them all into one pay-per-view too. And, and that's where they're going to have a battle royal, which is what you do when you've got like all these people you want to show off, but you can't give them all matches and everything. So there's a battle royal in this. So I'm not trying to say like I'm not looking forward to the event or anything, but I just think that the caliber of talent and the matches that went down in that last one are going to be very hard to the top in this one.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think this one there are a lot of good matches on this. Agree with you. The Battle Royal is just throw a bunch of wrestlers in there because they whatever. Even the Fatal Four Way Tag match, I don't need a Fatal Four Way Tag match, but I'd rather just see a one on one or one team on one team. But I do think there's a lot of talent here. I think it's going to be a really good pay per view, or excuse me, premium live event. I forget which is which.
PLE, yeah, it's a PLE. I know, I
What
said
is
pay
the
per view too.
difference?
Well, because you're not technically paying per view at this point. Like I've got my Peacock subscription, so it's part of my monthly. I'm not paying. It's either going to run one way or the other, and it's up to me whether I want to watch it. It's a premium live event, and that it's something that just it's outside of their usual programming, and it's going to be the bells and whistles, or it's supposed to be at least. Uh, I honestly, would rather, especially for all the money that they're robbing, all of the sponsors of out there. the least they could do is go back to building sets again for the pay-per-views. Like one of the exciting things about watching, a premium live event were the sets,
Yeah.
and now it's the same digital screen and they just, put up a different picture, it's just a backdrop, and different effects on there. Backlash used to have the swinging like, sickles,
Yeah.
when you were coming in and stuff like that. And, they'd have like, a hardcore show, they'd have like a crushed car on the stage and just, all sorts of stuff, just to give it, a little more three-dimensional look to it and everything. And now it's just this flat screen and whatever graphics they want to put up there, and then plus all the ads that they can squeeze into it too. So, the premium is not as premium as I would like it to be, but
I agree.
it is a live event. I can't argue that.
Okay,
So
so
it's
we agree on that. It's a live event.
yeah.
Okay.
So all right, well let's get into it. And
Well, before we get into it, we should still
oh,
mention
we should talk scores. Yeah.
that you are still one up on me for the year. But we're even lifetime.
Yeah, so the last pay-per-view we had nothing against, we were on the same page on all of them. But what I will say is that, some people will say they're like, a lot of the time you guys are on the same page, but we're not always right about everything either. And I will say I think we were wrong about a lot of matches in the last one,
We were. That's why
relatively.
I'm not giving exact results. No, no, we
Yeah,
were. We were. I
relative,
think we were
rel
three and
relative,
three.
yeah, relative to what we normally do. I mean, like we were both wrong on
Yeah.
several of them. So, uh, which in some cases is good, because it's nice to be swerved and it not be too predictable. But there's also some outcomes that I was hoping for that didn't happen. So, but all right, let's do it.
That's it.
Uh, let's start off with the NXT Women's Championship will be contested here at Evolution. The women's champion, JC Jane, will be taking on Jordan Grace. Um, I am a huge Jordan Grace fan. I am a huge Jordan
Okay.
Grace fan. I have watched her. Obviously, I got to see her in person when she came. She did one show with us in Resistance Pro, and she that was before she really got like super muscular and everything. Uh, and ever since she has, man, I mean, like she is just solid. She's just got the right proportions. She knows how to talk. She knows how to wrestle. She's tough, and I like her look. I love all about. She just seems very well rounded to me. JC Jane's more of a character, than a wrestler, and I just have not been like remotely entertained. I do watch NXT every week, and
Yeah.
I just I don't know how she got the title in the first place, or like why they decided to give her the title in the first place. So all this is to say is, I don't see any good reason why Jordan Grace shouldn't win this match. And it's not just because I like her, because normally, just because I like somebody, I don't necessarily go with them. But I think it's her time. I think she's had a few title shots that she came up short in that she shouldn't have. So I think she's due, and this is a good place for her to get it.
I agree. We met, as you said, we met Jordan way back probably 10 years ago,
Yeah, it's
roughly.
probably like 2015. Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. And back then she was nothing like she is now.
Mm.
She had the ability. She was very young. I don't even know if she was 18 at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
But she had been wrestling for several years in Texas, I believe, and she had the spirit, she had the desire, and I was kind of surprised though. Like, well, I was really surprised. The transformation she made was amazing. She's got the it factor. She's beautiful in the ring. She's
Mm.
beautiful. She's great in the ring. She's got character. She's got charisma.
Charisma.
I
Yeah.
would say. Thank you. And it's her time to win this title. I have nothing against great JC Grain, JC Jade, but she hasn't done much with the title. They didn't bring Jordan over to have her just flounder, I think. I
Right.
think they need her to get the title. She needs to get the title.
She'll be
Maybe
a
it does,
she'll be a
maybe it
strong
does
women's
something with
champion.
TNA. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's time for her to win it, and she will.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. We have a no holds barred match with the Storm, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Uh, I've made no bones about it. I'm not a big Jade Cargill fan. Not a big fan. I just, I'm impressed with her physique as well, but that's not enough, and that's why I think Jordan Grace is so great. It's not just because she's, well built and put together. It's she's got that, but she's got all the other parts of it too. To be Cargill, it's like she's a functional wrestler. I mean, like she can get by, she can have a match and everything, but like it factor, it's not there. It's like she doesn't sound good on the mic. Even her facial expressions just look like she looks so disinterested to me all the time. Like I feel like she
Good
just does.
analysis.
Yeah, I feel like she just doesn't really. She looks like she doesn't care. I'm sure she does, but she doesn't show it.
Yeah,
Uh, on the other hand, on the other side of it, you've got Naomi, who's like going out of her way to try to do anything to get attention right now and get people to, get into her. So she's got the heel turn and she's got new gear and a new gimmick. Problem with her is that one of the things I hate in pro wrestling is when somebody does the fake evil laugh because it always sounds fake. It always sounds fake, And even Seth Rollins can go in that,
but
floating
he's a
with
whole
that
different
realm.
character. It works
Yeah,
on.
no, it works more for him, but sometimes I mean he's somebody who's at least somewhat convincing at times with it. There's just some times when it does. I mean, like he's someone who I actually give a lot of credit to for it not sounding forced. I just see it every once in a while. But most anybody who is like trying to do like the maniacal Joker laugh or something like that, it just you could tell it's especially if it's somebody like Naomi who you're already having a hard time buying as a heel in the first
Yeah.
place. So so very contrasting people that they've got in this rivalry that's been going on for a while now. Uh, Jade Cargill and Naomi have been going at this for a while. It's a no holds barred match, but I don't think this is going to necessarily be like a blow off match for this either. Um, I would like to see Naomi win, but I have a feeling that they're going to let Cargill walk out with this one and try to keep her on a upward momentum. They're finally giving her a push, and she I think needs it somehow more than Naomi does because Naomi's putting in the work even if it's not quite landing yet. It might down the road. You never know how these things turn. So she's at least, but like Cargill is like, if they're not like spoon feeding her, some wins and some success, it's just not gonna. She's not gonna get the crowd naturally. So I'm gonna go with Cargill.
This match caused me a big headache. Well, first of all, Naomi, one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever met. Met her a couple of years ago at Fan
Uh,
Expo.
yeah,
Super nice.
I've never met her, but anything I've ever seen with her, or people that I know that have talked to her, or whatever, have all said the same thing. So it doesn't help me buying her
Right.
being a
Oh
heel.
no, that was my point. But I don't know. This one's hard because, like you, I think that Cargill. I think the rivalry is going to go for another event, and if it goes for another event, I think Cargill's got to end up being the winner. But I don't see her winning two in a row, so I was really confused, undecided. Ultimately, I am going for Cargill because I think she does need. I think they need to push her. She needs to rack up some victories to gain momentum. So I'm going with Cargill, but man, this one was like 51-49 for me.
So, and I understand what your point is and where you're going. What I would say to that is that even if she wins the first two but loses the third to Naomi, she at least won the series basically.
That's
And what
true.
and that then leaves Naomi in a position where if she moves on to another storyline, then she's got a little more heat on her because she beat Cargill finally. She only beat her once, so that's always going to be the
That's
leveling out
true.
factor. Um, so
I'll
yeah,
go with that.
yeah. So I agree with I hear what you're saying. Okay, here we go. They're going to do a battle royal for the women's title. Um, Now, this is a title opportunity, not the actual women's title. The title opportunity is when they go to, they're going to Paris soon. And so,
E.
yeah, I don't know if it's Clash in Paris or whatever they're calling it, but so win this match, go to Paris, fight for the title. And so there's a lot of unnamed people in this. So this is, this one is really just kind of like a,
Crap shoot.
it's a crapshoot. I mean, I've got a theory, but so I can tell you from NXT at least, you got Jada Parker or Miss Parker. I do like the Miss Parker gimmick. Lola Vice, Kaylani Jordan, Lash Legend, Izzy Dame, Tatum Paxley, um, Stephanie Vacure, I believe, is going to be there. Natalia, Maxine Dupree, Ivy Nile, Zelina Vega, Julia, and there's talk. There's talk apparently about Nia Jax. You know, why not? And Candice LeRae. Although I thought Candice LeRae was let go, but what do I know?
Yeah.
And then, but the big name in this match is none other than Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella is coming back, and
I
she was supposed to have a match with Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan hurt her shoulder, and she's out of action for some time. I believe they're saying probably 3 months, maybe more. And so you've got Nikki Bella in this whole thing. So she's really the story. Now that does that mean that she wins the match? Not necessarily. I could see a scenario where it looks like she's going to win, and Liv somehow comes out and ends up costing her the battle royal. Maybe she's not as injured as she could have been, and then this sets up a match for the two of them. On the other hand, I could see them also wanting to put Bella in that match when they go to Paris. You know, uh, the other factor in Bella even being here is this being the retirement year for Mr. John Cena, and they've got to use her in some way and incorporate her into the story with Cena. These two, something's got there's got to be like one intergender match or like a tag intergender match or something that those two, whether they're on the same side or opposite sides or something like that, they got to get her weaved into the story. She's not back just because of the evolution thing and stuff like that. This is no coincidence. This is everything to do with Cena. So I do believe that she has some importance and they need to keep her around. Again, I don't think she necessarily needs to win the battle royal to do it, but just based on the other names I heard, I just don't see anyone else who's like, oh, well, they're due up for a title shot or whatever. I just think this is going to be a chance to showcase a lot of those people and then put Nikki Bella over. And they know that they can't put Nikki really in a good one-on-one match, you know, so they can hide her in a battle royal, no problem. So Nikki Bella.
Yeah, okay.
There you
So
go.
I disagree. I don't think they're gonna. I really, boy, I hope they. The
I don't
less
want her to.
the
I don't
less
want
she's
her
involved
to.
in anything is better for me.
Oh,
I
I
don't
wish
want
she
to
would
steer
go
Cena.
away and
Don't pledge yourself into the Cena story. Cena story is good enough. Don't muck it up with her.
I think there's some good potential with the Cena stuff. But on the other hand, like if it was that, it's the only thing in the world that I would think is worth bringing her back for. I cannot wrap my head around or bring myself to come to terms with the fact that her and her sister are in the Hall of Fame. It burns my ass every time that I even think about it. So trust me, I don't want her around any more than anybody else does, but I do think that there's got to be a way to use her to somehow stick it to Cena a little bit somewhere in the course of these last few months we've got with him.
Well, I'm not
They
going with
gotta
that.
use her. They gotta use her.
I'm not going with that, and I'm not going with her winning the battle royal. I do think that there's going to be a Bella tag team again, and I'm afraid they might win a tag title because I don't think they won a tag title before.
Oh, I'm almost certain they did. The Bella
Oh well,
twins? Yeah, oh yeah.
well, either way, I think that they're aiming for a tag title for them anyway. But
I
my
would
other question is Stephanie Vacour, French?
no. No. She's not.
Latin of some sort,
Yeah,
Latina.
it's some sort of yeah.
Because my question is that would make more sense because I am picking her to win this, and if she was French, Paris, connect all
She
the
would be
dots.
she would certainly be one of the more deserving women in the match to get a women's title match for
That's where I'm
that.
going, my friend.
She's been the NXT Women's Champion and the North American Champion. Has not ever fought, I don't believe, unless she did it on like a Raw or something like that. I don't believe she's ever fought for the WWE Women's Championship. So,
I think
um,
it'll be great. She wins this stupid battle royal. She goes to the Paris. She's not going to win the title, but she'd be it would give her a nice rub. It would give her
mhm.
the competition, and it'll be what do you call it? Placeholder for the
A
title.
transitional champion, yeah.
No. She's not going to win it. The same whoever has the title will
Oh,
just will beat her. It'll be a good match, but it's not. We're not have to worry about trading titles.
right. All right, let's move on. We've got the women's tag team fatal four-way match, and I'm with you. I think tag team wrestling, I've never liked anything more than just the standard two-on-two tag team. I don't like a three-way tag, I don't like a four-way tag, and I certainly don't like anything above that either. Because there's been six-way tags and all sorts of stuff. It's too many people, and in a tag situation, I just don't find it compelling. I'm not as drawn into it. It's just too. It gets to be too sloppy, and I don't
Well,
know.
then, because everyone's got to get their moves in, and you're just waiting. Okay, this guy's got or this gal's got to get her move in, and it's formulaic
There's
and
when you've got
chaotic.
that many people there, it's hard to tell a story if you can only have two
Yes,
people in the ring. Because if you're really doing tag team wrestling, the main objective here is you cut the ring in half, you get your opponent on your half of the ring, and you try to keep them there as much as you can with frequent tags in and out with your partner and stuff. So, if you're telling that story and doing that the right way, then it's ultimately going to mean that there's two other tag teams who are just standing there doing nothing you know and for you to have that sort of a match and include everybody, you'd be there for like 45 minutes or an hour. It's just
exactly.
not it's the format is just not compelling enough to
Well,
me.
and the
But
talent in this match, although it's decent, is not worthy of a 45-minute match. We're not talking about the Road Warriors versus the Arn and Tully here. We're talking about, you
yeah,
know, I
so
mean,
it's a tag team from each of the shows. So we've got one from
I like that though.
We've got Raw, SmackDown, and NXT here, uh contributing to the show or to the match. So first we've got from the Judgment Day, we have Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. They Raquel was tag champions with Liv before she got injured. Uh, Roxanne Perez has been campaigning to be part of the Judgment Day full time, and Finn Balor's been pushing for it. And so now that they needed someone to fill in for Liv, they have decided that they're going to make her the person to take the other tag title. However, the GMs have agreed that what they're going to do is let them defend those titles in this match, and should they hold on to them, then they will be officially the tag team champions. So let's throw in team number two. We've got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They're both coming into this is one of those like begrudging tag teams. Like they're doing it basically because neither one of them have anything else to do, and why not? So, but they don't really get along much either. They see they know that the other's talented, and the two of them together have the potential to win the match and be the tag champions, but they also lack that chemistry, which I just don't find interesting at all. The whole like butting heads. It's like, well, you shouldn't be partners then. That's just all there is to
It's
it. That's
overdone. It's
right.
a trope, if you will.
Yeah. All right. Next up, you've got the Kabuki Warriors with Asuka and uh, not Io Sky. What's her face? Can't think of
I
her
had it
name.
written down.
It'll come to me. So I like the Kabuki Warriors. I dig the name. I dig the gimmick and everything. Uh, they are two tough girls, and I would be totally on board with seeing them be champions again. The problem is when they've had the belts in the back in the past, it's like they are a great team, but as champions, they just uh, oddly enough, they're not that interesting. I don't know why. It's like that on paper, it seems like there's every good reason for them to be like really, awesome. And there's something about the way that they're presented or something like that that
Yeah.
just doesn't, I think, and this is a problem just in WWE in general. They just have gotten too much into showing behind the scenes of these people. And like, if all I ever saw of Asuka was what she does when she comes to the ring, I'd have a completely different view of her, and I'd probably think she was way cooler than she is. But like I've seen her like on Up Up Down Down playing video games and stuff, and on Instagram, playing with
It
her
kills the
cat.
effect.
And
It kills the
right,
mystique.
like when you're a kid, you never saw any of that stuff. All you saw the Macho Man on TV. I mean, he was the Macho Man as far as you were concerned. When he went home at the end of the day, he was the Macho Man still. I mean,
Yeah.
like that. It was like there was no like turning it on and off, and it wasn't a character; it was who he was. So I think if we didn't live in that kind of world, I would probably think the Kabuki Warriors were like one of the best women's tag teams. I'd be like, these two are they're strong style, hard hitting. I love the whole Japanese gimmick, everything about it. They both speak Chinese. It's great or Japanese. I'm sorry, and but no, I don't see that. Uh, Sol Ruka and Zarya. This is a another like thrown together tag team. Zarya is it's like the story there is that a lot of people think Zarya is just using Sol Ruka to have a chance at Sol Ruka's title. And I believe she's the North American Women's Champion right now. I like Sol Ruka a lot, a lot. But I think that this is another pairing where it's like there's cracks in it because it is a little one-sided where one's using the other person there. So, with all of this being said, I think that they're really pushing the Judgment Day. Dom's got the IC title. Balor and his little buddy McDonough, JD McDonough, they've got the men's tag titles. I think that they're going to let Raquel and Roxanne retain and carry on with the titles.
Well, you make a lot of good points. I totally agree with you on the Kabuki Warriors. I mean, that's yeah, dead on. We didn't see Road Warrior Animal playing video games. We saw
Right.
him come out to the rings, kick ass, and exit the arena, and that was it.
And then you couldn't wait until next week to see him again for like five,
Yeah,
6 minutes. It was just, yeah.
yeah. I don't want to see him at home playing with his kids. I don't want to see him, eating cereal, whatever. Um, I I do agree with you on Charlotte and Alexa. Sorry, I agree with you on that, but I think that's exactly why they're going to win the title. It's
Mhm.
it's the same trope of reluctant
The
partners.
reluctant partners. Now, I
Now we've
know
got the title. It also opens up the your team, the team that you predicted to win. It's going to set up that feud between those two teams because they never really lost it because of the other girl was injured and it's not fair, and so they're going to come back for this.
it
And
would
so
cause some drama within the Judgment Day as
right.
well. So, I mean,
So that's
I
where I'm
see.
going.
Okay, I see, potential in that as well. All right. Almost there. So, women's intercontinental champion Becky Lynch, your girl, the man, is going to defend her title in a three-way against the role model Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. I've said in
I
the
like all
past,
three.
Lyra's okay. I'm not a big Lyra fan. I've said it in the past. Like I said, she reminds me of Winnie from the Wonder Years, and I never liked Winnie. So maybe I'm just a little biased on that. Uh, I think that the rivalry between Lyra and Bailey is really going to uh, be the distraction that gives Becky Lynch the ability to retain the title. I don't see how putting the title on Lyra or Bailey right now when they've got a pretty heated rivalry as it is necessary. You know, they don't need the prop. They've got the story. So, and Becky Lynch can take that and then move forward from there. So, I'm just gonna go with Becky Lynch on this one.
So if Lyra is winning, would Becky or would Bailey be Topanga? Because like Topanga was a little thicker, but still very attractive, like Bailey.
Well, there was still enough time difference. I mean, like there was almost well, not a decade, but I mean, you know, no, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say, I wouldn't. All I'll say is there's only one Topanga. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. So,
Shout out to Danielle Fishel.
yeah.
I'm going Becky. There's the feuds, the money, the long-term feud is Bailey versus Lyra.
Mm.
I don't know who Becky's going to fight next. She needs to win. She needs to build the momentum. She's going to stabilize that title. I love Becky, but my love for her aside, she's going to win this,
Yeah, it's got
no
nothing to do with
doubt.
that. That's just the logical way to go. Okay, here we go. Presumably our main event, because you never know sometimes.
Wait, wait,
Uh,
wait, wait. You missed one.
which one did I
Tiffany,
miss?
Trish, Tiffany, Trish.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, so let's do that. All right. So the women's champ. Well, yeah, I guess this wouldn't be the. No, I don't think this will be the main event. So the WWE Women's Championship will be on the line when Tiffany Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, this isn't too confusing.
This is like a tongue twister trying to get these two together. So we got Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. Uh, so they brought, good old Trish Stratus out, and they're gonna have her come and work this match. And this is one where I just think is a pretty clean cut. It'll be a good match. It'll be a nice little homecoming for Trish Stratus, but there's no reason for Trish Stratus to win the title, and there's no reason for Tiffany Stratton to lose the title. So I think this is just going to be a spectacle match, and Tiffany will win, and she'll get a little more respect, and maybe there'll be a handshake or something like that at the end of this. So we'll see. But either way, going Tiffy time. So
Well, I'm going for some Stratusfaction. I think Trish
man,
is going to win the title. No, I thought I heard her say she'd be the first one to win it in 3 different decades. I don't know if that's true.
probably,
What about
probably.
Moolah?
I don't know who else would have. Well,
Didn't Moolah hold it for like 14
but
decades?
that's the thing though, is she would have. Trish would have had to have won it in each of those, but Moolah carried it from one
Oh,
decade into
Moolah
another.
held it. Okay.
Yeah, like she probably, I think she had it for like 20 years or something. So she carried it for 2 decades or so, but
Okay.
she never gave it up and had to get it back. So it's just one of those things where it's like it's all in the wording of it, you
Yeah.
know.
But
But
Trish is going to win it. You're right. She doesn't need to win it, and it probably would be better if Tiffany won it. But I think Trish is just going to be a short-term champ. I don't see her holding on to it for a while, and it could
I
very well be that Tiffany takes it at the next event.
I get that would be a stat for her, but I mean, at the end of the day, does she really need it? I mean, like, is anybody like of all the things that people will remember or point to in Trish Stratus's career, few people are going to be like, yeah, did you know she was also the
No,
only
but
one
but
who won, the belt in 3 different decades,
no, but then why bring her back just to give Tiffany a rub?
No, because people want to see Trish Stratus and see her and get to see
We don't
her.
want to see Trish Stratus lose all the time, because then you
No,
become.
but when she came back last time, she hung out for a while. She came out and hung out for a couple of months and then took off, because she
Yeah,
was
without
going.
a title or anything. So she's going to win the
No,
title
but she doesn't need a title. What does she need a title for?
just to have one.
Well, that's a great answer. All right, but moving on to the main event again,
Hey, at least you
presumably,
got a different one.
yeah. Women's
We have
World
three different.
Champion Io Sky versus uh, Rhea Ripley, mommy. I think Io Sky has done all that she can possibly do with this title. I don't think that she's very interesting. I don't think she has the it factor. She's a okay, fun to watch wrestler, but she just I don't feel any connection to her. And everybody loves Ripley, and I think she's just the person for our time and right now who needs to be holding the title and see where things go from there. I'm going Rhea Ripley.
This one scared me only because after I picked it, I went, man, I have every title changing hands. I think I have every title changing hands. And that just seems rather odd. But I'm still going with Rhea Ripley. I don't care
Yep.
for the same reason you mentioned. I do want to get back to one thing though, but the Battle Royal. Any surprise entrants?
I'm sure there will be. I couldn't tell you. I mean, you know, if they really wanted to knock, that would be one of the things that could save it is if they really wanted to knock somebody their socks off or something, get like AJ Lee, to come back or
Britt
something
Baker?
like that. Britt Baker, yeah, that would be a big one. I mean, yeah, it's a great opportunity to bring somebody back and put them over. So like I
Mickey
said,
James, Hardcore Country.
like I said though, the Nikki Bella thing is still just I just feel like they're gonna really push that. But we'll see. We'll see. This is why we watch. So
We have at least three different. We've got we differ on Trish Tiff, we
hmm
differ on the tag team, and
yep,
obviously we differ on the Battle
Battle Royal.
Royal.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. Remember that this premium live event will be on Sunday, back to the old school Sunday night pay-per-view. I believe it's 6 Central if you're here in the Midwest like we are. And tune in. As always, let us know in the comments if you have any predictions of your own you'd like to share with us. And if you have any uh, critical analysis for John and what he could be
Well,
doing,
of the last few videos,
what
how
he
many of
could
them got praise?
what he could be doing better on this
Praise,
show here.
praise.
So, thank you once again for tuning into Pinfalls. As always, I of course have been who else but Tommy Els, and from Skokie, Illinois, is the man on the beat, Mister John Wroblewski.
Evolving all the time.